Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Almost every day I'm reading my outline to figure out where I was. And since I added this addition to the storyline, it's like every act that I come across that I've already sort of filled out, I have to add more and more details. So the development process is taking forever. Especially because I had a week off to go see family, and then family came back with us. And I was busy catching up. So now I have to jump back into it, and this is kind of taking more time than I thought. It's sort of almost at the end of the month. I knew that I was going to go into the next month, so that's totally fine, but now I have to sort of weave in this detail, and I'm not sure if it's making it better or making it worse, but I'm just going to keep going with it, and I can change it in the second round. Point is just to get it done. It doesn't exist until I write it. Every day I have to read the expanded beats that I started sort of fleshing out with a lot more detail because I'm using them to also be my treatment. This is making it easier to just copy and paste and make it a treatment, but it's also more time consuming because I have to reread through all of it. And I'm so focused on getting done that it feels excruciating to read through everything because I already want to be done. So I'm just kind of like, I want to start writing. So I don't have the capacity to sit and read every point that I've expanded on, which sounds silly, but that's just how my brain works. And this may be different for everybody, but I also just finished a run, so I'm also exhausted. I haven't run in 2 weeks, and I'm trying to fuel up. I put these empty little beats in here, and I don't know why. I'm thinking because I meant to string in a little bit more of Jamie's story, because I haven't had him at all talking with his family or friends, and I need that. So weird, because little things like a detail where I had Jamie, one of my main characters, pick up a Christmas tree and meet Evie, my other lead character, at a Christmas tree farm. And I had a reason for why he was going there, and it was mostly because he wanted a Christmas tree for his studio. And his mom tells him and reminds him, you gotta go pick one up at the store. But now that I'm thinking about it, I need more reasons for his mom and him to kind of talk more and not just at the store. So I'm gonna actually make it that he needed to pick up a Christmas tree for her because she can't go. And she sort of decided, you could just choose it on your own. I trust you. Outlining is also really helpful for me because I have a really big problem with chronology. I can't really do it well, and then I miss details that make it chronological, so outlining and reading it as I go daily has actually helped me find what's already not in order correctly, help me find details that don't make sense coming before other details in the story. So this also happens when I start thinking up new things. I start putting in the details somewhere else in a different act, because I'm doing a 9-act structure. That's the TV structure. I might put something in a different act that also needs to be brought up in an act somewhere previous, and then I realize that wherever I put it maybe doesn't make any sense anymore, even if I have to mention it earlier. So for instance, I break my 9-act structure into headings with 3 acts. So act 1 would be act 1, because that's the longest act. It's 20 minutes. And then act 2 would be act 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then act 3 would be 8 and 9, because those are 10-minute acts, or 10 to 8 minutes, or 10 to 8 pages, as it would be for TV movie structure. So that would be like 18 minutes, and that meets the same characteristic of the first act, which is 20 minutes. So I actually break them up into acts like that so that I actually know where my major beats fall. And then I go back and I make sure that the midpoint is between act 4 and 5, where it naturally would fall. This kind of leads back to like the chronology I can't tell you where it's going to fall if I don't plot it out. So I have to plot it to make sure it happens around that time. It doesn't happen exactly that time, but around that time. That way the rest of my story feels that way the rest of my story kind of flows correctly. If it's too formulaic for you, I get it, but it helps me. Today, I'm going to do the thing that I've been avoiding, which is finishing my outline for my Christmas in July holiday romance. So, since I'm not going to writer's group, come with me to a coffee shop so I can finish this outline. I'm on the last quarter of this outline and I have to get it done so I can start writing the full script. So I actually live and write in LA, although I'm unproduced, as many of us are. But usually I go to my writer's group in Anaheim. Today I can't make it down there, so I'm gonna go write on my own. A quick walk to get some stuff done, and I found the perfect little spot for me to eat some breakfast and write. Also had delicious coffee, of course, because I need motivation and inspiration from caffeine. And to be fair, I got quite a lot done when I went to this cute little cafe. It always inspires me when I leave the house. But I do need to change locations now because I can't stay here forever. So I took a little walk and here I go again. Let's get this done. I changed a lot of details. I ended up rearranging some of the beats. I usually write by major beats, and then I have some beats that are connecting those major beats together in between to just give me a little bit more of the B story written in there. Usually I try to keep my beats to 1 to 2 sentences, although sometimes I ramble even in my beats. And this time I actually fattened them up with as much detail as possible. I wanted to use the outline as a treatment. I'm trying to get more in the habit of writing treatments, so this is my way of doing that. Location switch. At this point, I'm just trying to finish writing my outline so that I could actually start writing zero draft, which I call the first draft. And I'll make it make sense a little bit later. I know that that's kind of rushing things, but sometimes you just have to rush the inspiration or you're just never gonna get it done. That's my goal, and that's what I'm gonna complete before the end of the day. I can't believe I finally did it. Done. I can now play video games. Hello, scribes. I just had to stop you really quickly so I could tell you that I've got a new Notion website for you with a bunch of free things, including the script vault, which has the feature script vault and the TV script vault. And if you have a script you'd like to donate, feel free to email me. You can also find a really quick link to my Etsy page where you can buy your own writer verified blue checkmark pen. And once I have free downloads for you, I'm going to drop the link right there. I'm hoping to add more free downloadable resources for you. Look, I don't think you guys know that it's taken me 2 weeks to get in the zone. It's like the second week of August, and I've been working on this for it's not 3 weeks yet, but 2 weeks and very little progress. I'm at page 9. So over 2 weeks ago, I had the issue where I was using Writer Solo, and it actually wasn't auto-saving. So because it wasn't auto-saving, and I figured out how to do the settings later, I got like traumatized and I decided to stop using Writer Solo. So now, yes, I know I'm using Final Draft. I know I say it all the time. Final Draft is not for the new people, new writers, but in this case, I just decided it was the quickest and easiest thing to set up and get things copied over to. I did all of my outline. I ended up doing like Apple Notes. It syncs with my phone and I can see it at work, and then I can just keep working on it wherever I go. So basically if I'm on the road or doing something somewhere and I have inspiration that strikes, I could just keep adding to that. I also was trying to use that outline to make it easier to write, of course, but then to also use it it's kind of like a treatment. So it's trying to overwrite it so it's so detail specific that I can make it into a really cool treatment quick as I was writing to save me time. It did not save me time. I'm still trying to copy and paste some of what I write in the action description as I write this actual script. I'm taking that, I'm using that as the treatment prose.
because it sounds better when I rephrase it for the script than that I wrote in the major beat outline that I wrote. And as I'm going, I'm actually tracking in my file itself just a little note underneath the beat that says added, and then whatever I added. My brain has just not been very focused, and that's okay. It's totally fine. Back to writing because I don't have much more time in my day, and we will see how far I get this week.
I'm just going to say it here. Consistency is what we're aiming for. And I have been consistently trying to write and getting 7 pages in. Going to writers' groups keeps me pretty much accountable. Sometimes all it takes, too, is just getting past a rough patch and sticking through after I got past Act 1. Honestly, once I found out that 2 specific characters, my main character and her aunt, being put in the same room just halted all of the dialogue and movement, I really pinpointed what was wrong, fixed the issue by giving them more connection, and I was able to get to page 20. Like, bam! I know their motivation now, and I can write these pages. And I wrote those pages. All I had to do was find this motivation for my 2 characters, and all of a sudden I was writing those pages like water. I didn't have a good enough thing to say with that, but
I'm just happy.
I'm so glad that you're taking this ride with me, Scribes. If you are writing something, drop it down below. I want to hear what you're working on or where you're at, and I will see you on the next one. Happy writing.